Hello everyone, and welcome to Fluent English Journey. I'm glad you are here. If you want to learn English every day, don't forget to subscribe because I share new tips and lessons to help you speak better English. My name is Blake, and today we are going to talk about something very important in our lives: habits. We all have habits, good ones and bad ones, and they have a strong power to shape our life, our health, our mind, and even our future. What are habits? Habits are small actions that we do every single day. Sometimes we do them without thinking, like checking our phone in the morning or brushing our teeth at night. Even though habits seem small, they have a huge effect on our life over time. A tiny action done every day can create a big result in the future. Good habits. Good habits help us grow. They help us feel better, stay healthy, and improve ourselves. Some examples of good habits are reading a little every day. This helps you learn new words, understand new ideas, and grow your knowledge. Exercising regularly. Exercise makes your body stronger and your mind calmer. Eating healthy foods and drinking plenty of water. These habits give your body energy. Sleeping well. Good sleep helps your brain work better and improves your mood. When we practice good habits every day, our life becomes easier, happier, and more productive. Bad habits. Bad habits, on the other hand, make life harder. They might feel good for a moment, but over time they harm our health and happiness. Examples include spending too much time on your phone, eating too much junk food, delaying important work, sleeping too late, not drinking enough water. Bad habits grow slowly, just like good habits. When we repeat an action many times, it becomes automatic, whether it is good or bad. The power of changing habits. The good news is this: habits can be changed. No matter how long you have had a bad habit, you can replace it with a better one. But change does not need to be big. You don't have to change everything in one day. The best way to change habits is to start small. Here are some small steps you can try. Drink 1 extra glass of water each day. Read for 10 minutes. Take a short walk. Put your phone away during meals. Sleep 15 minutes earlier. These tiny actions may look small, but if you do them every day, they create big improvements over time. Noticing your habits. One important step is to notice your habits without blaming yourself. Everyone has bad habits, every single person. Instead of feeling guilty, try to understand why a habit happens. For example, if you feel tired in the afternoon, maybe you didn't sleep enough. If you eat junk food when you're sad, maybe you're using food for comfort. If you always check your phone, maybe you're bored or stressed. Understanding the reason behind a habit helps you find a better solution. How to build better habits. A useful method is to connect a new habit to something you already do. For example, after brushing your teeth, read a few pages. After lunch, take a 5-minute walk. Before bed, write 1 sentence in English. When a new habit is attached to an old habit, it becomes easier to remember and follow. Another helpful idea is to make habits enjoyable. If you like the activity, you will do it more often. For example, if you want to exercise, choose something fun like dancing or swimming. If you want to read, choose a book that interests you. If you want to learn English, listen to stories or podcasts you enjoy. The more enjoyable the habit is, the easier it becomes. Why bad habits happen? Many bad habits come from stress, boredom, loneliness, wanting a quick reward. For example, eating junk food gives quick pleasure. Scrolling social media is an easy distraction. Staying up late might feel fun even if it makes you tired later. When you understand why you do a habit, you can replace it with a better option. If you feel stressed, instead of scrolling your phone, you could go for a walk, drink water, stretch, listen to relaxing music, talk to a friend. These small choices slowly break bad habits and create better ones. Small steps lead to big change. The truth is, you don't need big willpower. You just need small, consistent steps. Habits grow slowly, and they change slowly too. Be patient with yourself. Every small step counts. Even drinking more water, reading a few pages, or going for a short walk can change your life over time. Habits shape how we live, how we feel, and how we think. By noticing them, improving them, and replacing bad ones with good ones, we create a better future. Keeping a habit journal. One helpful idea for improving habits is to keep a habit journal. This means writing down what you do each day, how you feel, and what causes each habit. When you see your habits on paper, it becomes easier to understand them. For example, if you notice that you eat sweets every time you feel tired, you can choose a better option. Maybe you can take a short break, drink water, or eat a healthy snack instead. Writing things down helps you see the connection between your actions and your feelings, and that is the first step toward change. Setting clear and simple goals. Another good strategy is to set clear, simple goals. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise more," you can say, "I will walk for 20 minutes after lunch every day." A specific goal is easier to follow because you know exactly what to do and when to do it. Also, remember to celebrate small successes. Even if you complete a positive habit for just one day, take a moment to feel proud. This small feeling of success motivates your brain to repeat the action again. How people around us influence our habits. Habits are not only personal, they are also social. The people around us can influence our behavior. If your friends like to read, exercise, study, or work hard, you are more likely to develop similar habits. But if the people around you have negative habits, it may be harder to change your own. This shows how our surroundings and environment play a big role in shaping our habits. Habits and our emotions. Habits affect not only our actions, but also our thinking and emotions. Good habits, like practicing gratitude, doing mindfulness, or learning something new daily, can make us feel positive, calm, and focused. Bad habits, like procrastinating, negative thinking, or wasting time online, can make us feel stressed, tired, or unhappy. This is why building good habits is not just about behavior, it also helps improve our mind and mood. Small habits create big change. Many people think habits must be big actions, but small habits are just as powerful. Simple actions like drinking enough water, sleeping on time, reading a few pages, keeping your space clean, taking a short walk, meditating for a few minutes, may look small, but if you do them every day, they slowly improve your life. The key is consistency. Small positive actions repeated daily can slowly replace bad habits and make life healthier and happier. Tracking and understanding habits. By noticing your habits, understanding why they happen, tracking them in a journal, setting clear goals, and celebrating progress, you can build better habits step by step. Good habits make life more productive, healthier, and more joyful. Bad habits often hold us back, so changing them, even slowly, makes a big difference over time. We do not need to be perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that we gently guide ourselves back to good habits whenever we slip. These small corrections help build strong patterns of positive behavior. Habits versus goals. It is also important to understand the difference between habits and goals. A goal is something you want to achieve, like speaking English fluently or running a marathon. A habit is a daily action that helps you reach that goal. For example, if your goal is to read more books, a good habit might be reading for 10 minutes before bed. Small habits support big goals, and when habits are strong, success becomes easier and more natural. Identity and habits. Habits shape our identity. When you repeat a good action every day, you start to see yourself as the type of person who does it. If you walk every morning, you begin to see yourself as someone who cares about health. If you read daily, you begin seeing yourself as a reader. This shift in identity is powerful because it motivates you to keep going. The same is true for bad habits. If we delay important tasks every day, we may start seeing ourselves as someone who cannot focus. That's why it's helpful to notice bad habits early and slowly change them. Making habits visible. A useful method is to make habits visible and measurable. For example, if you want to drink more water, keep a water bottle near you and check off each glass you drink. If you want to read more, keep a book next to your bed. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. When habits are visible, they become easier to remember and easier to do. Triggers and habit loops. Habits often have triggers, something that reminds you to do an action automatically. Examples: feeling tired eating snacks, finishing a meal checking your phone, waking up looking at social media. When you understand your triggers, you can replace the automatic response with a better choice. The power of repetition. Habits are formed by repetition. The more you repeat something, the more automatic it becomes. Even small daily actions can create huge results over time. For example, practicing English for just 10 minutes a day can greatly improve your vocabulary and confidence in a few months. Small habits influence many parts of life: our health, our mood, our learning, and our productivity. Understanding triggers and changing habits. When we notice the triggers behind our habits, we can understand why they happen and plan ways to change them. For example, if you realize that you always check your phone after eating, you can replace this habit with a better one, like taking a short walk, writing down your thoughts, or drinking water. Understanding triggers gives us the power to choose better actions. Using rewards to strengthen habits. Rewards are a very helpful tool when building new habits. When we give ourselves a small reward after completing a positive habit, our brain feels happy and wants to repeat it. These rewards can be simple: enjoying a healthy snack, listening to your favorite music, drinking a warm cup of tea, watching a short video, or simply feeling proud of yourself. Small rewards make habits enjoyable and easier to maintain over time. Connecting habits to existing actions. Habits grow stronger when they are linked to things we already do. This makes them easier to remember. For example, after brushing your teeth, drink a glass of water. After waking up, stretch for 2 minutes. After lunch, walk for 10 minutes. By linking new habits to old routines, you create a smooth, natural pattern that is easy to follow every day. The importance of patience. Habits do not change in one day. Real change comes from repeating small actions daily, noticing your triggers, planning rewards, and gently correcting mistakes. Even when progress is slow, every small effort counts. Over time, good habits help us feel healthier, happier, and more confident, while bad habits hold us back. By paying attention to our actions and making small improvements, we can slowly build the life we want. Habits reflect who we are. Habits are more than daily actions. They show our identity, our priorities, and our choices. When we build positive habits, we grow stronger in mind and body. When we reduce negative habits, we create space for a healthier, happier life. Small, consistent actions always lead to big, lasting results. How emotions shape habits. Habits last longer when they are connected to positive emotions. If a habit makes you feel proud, happy, or calm, you are more likely to continue it. For example, helping someone, giving compliments, practicing kindness, finishing a small task. All create positive emotions, which makes the habit stronger. On the other hand, habits that create stress, like sleeping late, worrying too much, or spending hours online, harm our mood and health. Changing these habits brings balance and well-being. The power of support from others. Support from friends, family, or colleagues can make new habits easier to maintain. Other people can encourage you, join you in the habit, or check in to see your progress. For example, If you want to jog every morning, running with a friend makes the habit easier and more fun. Social support builds motivation and accountability. Habits are flexible. Habits do not need to be perfect. Life changes and routines may shift. If you miss a day, it is okay. What matters is returning to the habit without guilt. Each day is a new chance to improve. Consistency matters more than perfection. How habits shape our thinking. Good habits create positive patterns in the brain. This makes healthy choices easier. For example, eating vegetables regularly, exercising daily, reading often, or planning your day helps your brain recognize these actions as normal and good. Bad habits do the opposite. They create negative patterns and lead to poor decisions. So habits influence not just our behavior, but also our mindset and personality. Small actions, big results. Small daily actions may look simple, but their effects grow over time. Habits like drinking water, reading a few pages, walking 10 minutes, organizing your room, practicing kindness, become powerful when repeated every day. They slowly shape your health, mood, relationships, and productivity. Consistency is the key. Small steps repeated daily create big results in the future. Building a better life through habits. By connecting habits to positive emotions, rewarding yourself, getting support from others, and staying flexible, you can build habits that improve your entire life. Habits shape how we feel, how we think, how we act, and who we become. Every small step matters. Over time, small actions create deep and meaningful change. Good habits are not only about what we do, they shape our entire character. Habits become easier to build when we understand why they happen. Every habit begins with a trigger, and when we notice those triggers, we can change the habit more easily. For example, if you always check your phone after eating, you can replace that habit with something more positive, like taking a short walk or writing your thoughts in a notebook. Small changes like this help you create better routines. Rewards also play a big role in forming habits. When you give yourself a small reward after doing something good, your brain learns to feel happy about it. This makes you want to repeat the habit again. Rewards do not have to be big. They can be simple, like enjoying your favorite music after studying, eating a healthy snack after exercising, or taking a moment to feel proud of yourself. These small rewards motivate your mind and strengthen your habits. Another helpful strategy is to connect a new habit with something you already do. This is called habit stacking. For example, if you brush your teeth every morning, you can read a few pages of a book right afterward. When habits are linked together, they become easier to remember and more natural to follow. A small action each day may not feel big, but repeating it over time leads to huge improvements. For example, practicing English for just 10 minutes every day adds up to more than 60 hours of practice in a year. It is also important to focus on one habit at a time. Trying to change too many habits at once can feel stressful and make you want to quit. But when you choose just one habit and work on it slowly until it becomes automatic, it becomes much easier to add another habit later. Habits are not built overnight. They grow over time through patience, repetition, and small daily efforts. Habits are a reflection of our choices and priorities. The habits we practice show what we value and how we want to live. Good habits make us healthier, happier, and more successful, while bad habits can create stress and slow us down. By becoming aware of our habits and making little changes, we can gradually improve our life in many ways. Starting small is one of the best ways to create new habits. Many people think they need to make big changes immediately, but this often leads to frustration. Starting with small steps makes habits easier to follow and more enjoyable. For example, if you want to exercise, begin with just 5 minutes of walking. Over time, 5 minutes can grow into 15, 30, or even more. The same is true for learning English. If your goal is to improve your speaking skills, start with one new word a day or practice speaking to yourself for just a few minutes. These small steps build confidence and add up to real progress. It is also helpful to prepare for challenges. Life does not always go as planned, and obstacles are normal. When you expect challenges, you can also plan solutions. For example, if you usually walk in the morning but it starts raining, you could walk indoors or stretch instead. Having a backup plan helps your habits survive difficult days. Tracking your progress can also motivate you. Writing down your habits or marking a calendar every day helps you see your improvement. When you see a long chain of successful days, you naturally want to continue. This visual progress makes you feel motivated and proud of your consistency. Making habits enjoyable is another powerful strategy. If a habit feels fun, your brain will want to repeat it. For example, if you want to read more, choose books you are excited about. If you want to exercise, pick activities you enjoy, like dancing, swimming, or walking with a friend. Enjoyable habits are easier to maintain because they don't feel like a burden. Good habits often lead to other good habits. Someone who starts exercising may also begin eating better, sleeping earlier, or feeling more confident. In the same way, bad habits can create other bad habits. Staying up late can cause tired mornings, skipping breakfast, or wasting time on your phone. This shows how habits are connected and how changing one habit can improve many parts of life. Understanding why a habit exists is also helpful. If you know the reason behind your behavior, you can replace a bad habit with a healthier one. For example, if someone snacks at night because they feel stressed, they can try new ways to relax, like deep breathing, meditation, or taking a short walk. Knowing the cause helps you find better solutions. In the end, habits shape our daily life, our mindset, and our future. They create patterns in the brain that influence how we think and make decisions. Good habits build confidence, happiness, and progress. Bad habits create stress, poor choices, and negative cycles. The most important thing is to stay patient and consistent. Missing a day is normal. What matters is returning to the habit the next day. Every small step counts. Over time, these small efforts grow into meaningful, long-lasting change. By starting small, stacking habits, rewarding yourself, preparing for challenges, and staying consistent, you can shape a life that is healthier, happier, and more successful. Understanding why a habit happens gives you control over it. When you know the reason behind a habit, you can make better choices. For example, if you snack at night because of stress, you can replace it with a healthier action like stretching, walking, or deep breathing. Creating reminders is another useful strategy. Visual cues in your environment help you remember to do your habits. For instance, leaving a book on your desk reminds you to read. Placing a water bottle near your computer reminds you to drink more water. Reminders make habits easier to maintain and prevent forgetting. Consistency and timing. Doing a habit at the same time every day helps your brain accept it as normal. For example, practicing English after breakfast. Taking a short walk before dinner. When repeated regularly, these actions eventually become automatic, making life more organized and easier. Start small and grow gradually. Big changes can feel overwhelming. Starting with small actions helps habits grow naturally. For example, walk for just 5 minutes a day instead of an hour. Learn one new English word per day. Over time, small steps become bigger routines. Slowly practicing a habit builds confidence and lasting improvement. Habits and emotions. Habits grow stronger when they are connected to positive emotions. If a habit makes you feel happy, proud, or calm, you are more likely to continue it. Positive feelings act as natural rewards, helping habits stick. On the other hand, habits that cause stress or negative feelings are harder to maintain and can hurt health and productivity. Support and social influence. Having support from others makes habits easier to keep. Friends, family, or colleagues can encourage you, join you in the habit, check in to see your progress. Your social circle also influences habits. Spending time with people who exercise, read, or work hard helps you adopt similar habits. Conversely, negative habits in others can make it harder to change. Celebrate small wins. Celebrating small successes is important. Even minor accomplishments matter. Acknowledging them motivates your brain to continue. For example, reward yourself after completing a week of your habit. Enjoy a fun activity or treat yourself. Simply recognize your effort. Small rewards reinforce positive behavior and make habits enjoyable. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Everyone makes mistakes. Missing a day or facing challenges is normal. The key is to return to the habit without guilt. Habits grow over time, and consistency matters more than perfection. Habit stacking. Habit stacking is connecting a new habit to an existing one. For example, after brushing your teeth, read a few pages of a book or stretch for 5 minutes. Linking habits together makes them easier to remember and practice regularly. Small connections create stronger routines and lasting change. Make habits enjoyable. If a habit is boring, it is hard to keep. Finding ways to enjoy it makes it stick. For example, if you want to exercise, dance, swim, or walk with friends. If you want to read more, choose books you like or read in a cozy spot. Enjoyable habits naturally become part of your daily life. The power of habits. Habits are small actions repeated daily. They shape your identity, your mindset, your emotions, your long-term success. By celebrating small wins, connecting habits, making them enjoyable, seeking support, and staying consistent, you can create positive habits that improve your life, health, and happiness. Over time, these repeated small actions grow into big results and help shape the life you want. Habits are powerful because, often without noticing, they become a natural part of your daily routine. The power of habits and how to build them. Habits are small actions we repeat every day. The great thing about habits is that we don't have to think too much about them. They happen automatically. This is what makes habits so powerful. But building good habits and keeping them can be challenging. There are several strategies that make it easier and more sustainable. 1. Accountability helps you stick to habits. One useful strategy is accountability. This means sharing your goals with friends, family, or a group of people who support you. When others know what you are trying to achieve, you are more likely to follow through. Their encouragement and reminders help you stay motivated, even when it feels hard. Accountability is like having a support system. It reminds you that you are not alone in your journey and makes sticking to new habits much easier. 2. Focus on meaningful habits. Habits are easier to maintain when they are meaningful. If a habit matches your personal values, it feels natural and rewarding. For example, if you care about health, exercising, eating nutritious food, and sleeping well will feel important rather than forced. Habits that don't connect to your values may feel like chores, making them harder to keep. 3. Understand the long-term impact. Small actions may seem minor at first, but over weeks, months, and years, they lead to big results. Drinking enough water, reading a few pages each day, walking, or practicing small acts of kindness may seem insignificant now. But over time, these habits create a life full of health, knowledge, and happiness. Habits are like tiny building blocks that gradually shape your bigger life picture. 4. Replace bad habits gradually. Trying to quit a bad habit completely can feel overwhelming. Instead, replace it step by step with a healthier alternative. For example, if you eat sweets when stressed, you could drink herbal tea, go for a short walk, practice deep breathing, Gradual change is more sustainable than sudden elimination, and small steps make progress easier to maintain. 5. Track your progress. Tracking your habits visually helps you stay consistent. You can use a journal, a calendar, or an app. Each time you mark a completed habit, it reinforces your commitment and gives you a sense of achievement. Seeing your progress motivates you to keep going. 6. Stay flexible. Life changes, schedules shift, and unexpected challenges happen. Habits need to be flexible. Adjusting habits to fit new circumstances ensures they remain part of your routine. Flexibility prevents frustration and allows your habits to evolve with you. 7. Choose habits with multiple benefits. Some habits give multiple benefits, which makes your effort more rewarding. For example, reading improves vocabulary, focus, and thinking skills. Exercise strengthens your body, boosts energy, and improves mood. Habits that positively affect several areas of life are smart to prioritize because they create more meaningful results. 8. Use mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to what you do and why. It helps you notice your patterns, triggers, and emotions as you act. Being mindful ensures you are not repeating actions automatically. Instead, you are choosing habits consciously, which makes it easier to create helpful habits and break harmful ones. Mindfulness makes habit building more thoughtful, intentional, and effective. 9. Habits reflect your values. Habits show what we value most in life. Every repeated action reflects our priorities. Good habits build the life you want, while bad habits can hold you back. By being mindful and intentional, you can shape your daily actions to support your goals, health, and happiness. 10. Small actions lead to big change. Even though habits seem small, repeating them consistently has a powerful effect. Small habits done every day add up over time and create lasting change. When combined with accountability, meaningful goals, tracking, mindfulness, and flexibility, your habits can transform your life step by step. In short, habits are the foundation of a healthy, productive, and fulfilling life. By choosing good habits, practicing them consistently, replacing bad ones gradually, and being mindful and flexible, you can shape a life full of health, happiness, and success. Habits. Small actions, big impact. When we practice good habits, we are choosing a life focused on growth, learning, health, and happiness. When we notice bad habits and make small, consistent changes, we can improve our overall quality of life. Habits are powerful tools, and learning to use them wisely allows us to shape not only our daily actions, but also our mindset, future, and overall well-being. Every small action we repeat forms a pattern. These patterns influence how we spend our time, how we behave, and even how we think. When we consistently practice positive habits, our life becomes more organized, productive, and fulfilling. For example, practicing gratitude every morning, writing down 3 things you are thankful for, only takes a few minutes. Yet over time, it builds a stronger, more resilient mindset, helping you handle challenges more easily. Other simple habits, like tidying your room, planning your day, or reviewing your goals regularly, can make life much smoother. These actions reduce stress, increase focus, and make it easier to achieve what we want. On the other hand, bad habits such as procrastination, skipping meals, or spending too much time on screens may seem harmless at first. Over time, they can harm health, reduce productivity, and even affect mood and emotions. Recognizing these habits and replacing them with better choices can bring long-lasting improvements in life. Habits shape life. Habits are the building blocks of daily life. They shape how we act, think, and feel. Choosing habits that support growth, health, and happiness creates a life that is productive and meaningful. Gradually changing negative habits improves routines, mindset, and the future. Habits may seem small, but when used wisely, they can transform every part of life and help us live with purpose, balance, and joy. Understanding the long-term effects of habits is very important. Every action we repeat regularly shapes our future. When we are aware of this, we can decide which habits to keep and which ones to change. Make habits enjoyable. Building good habits is easier when the process is enjoyable. If a habit feels boring or difficult, it is hard to continue consistently. Finding ways to make habits fun, interesting, or rewarding makes them easier to maintain. For example, if you want to exercise, running alone on a treadmill may feel boring. But joining a dance class, playing a sport with friends, or walking with someone you enjoy spending time with makes the habit fun and easier to stick with. The same applies to reading. Choosing books or articles that interest you, whether stories, topics you enjoy, or materials related to your work or studies, makes reading easier to continue. When habits are enjoyable, they don't feel like chores, and practicing them regularly becomes natural. Environment matters. Your surroundings influence your habits. The people you spend time with, the places you visit, and even the objects around you affect how you behave. Being around supportive people with positive habits encourages you to develop similar routines. For example, working with motivated colleagues or joining a community of learners can inspire you to stay committed to your goals. On the other hand, distractions, unhealthy food, or negative influences make it harder to maintain good habits. Adjusting your environment, organizing your workspace, limiting distractions, or spending time with positive people can make a huge difference. Focus on one habit at a time. Trying to change too many habits at once can feel overwhelming. Instead, focus on one habit at a time. Practice it until it becomes automatic. Once the first habit is established, adding another becomes easier because you have already built discipline, patience, and consistency. Taking small steps rather than attempting massive changes avoids burnout and keeps motivation high. Step by step, small improvements accumulate and transform your life over time. Set clear goals and celebrate progress. Setting clear, realistic goals makes habits easier to follow. Instead of saying, "I want to read more," say, "I will read for 10 minutes every day." Small, measurable actions are easier to practice consistently and gradually lead to bigger results. Celebrating progress is also important. Recognizing even minor accomplishments motivates your brain to continue. For example, after completing a habit for a week, reward yourself with something simple, a treat, a fun activity, or just acknowledging your effort. Positive reinforcement strengthens habits and makes them stick. Patience is key. Patience is essential when building habits. Real change does not happen overnight. Setbacks and mistakes are natural. Instead of giving up, restart and continue practicing. Repetition, consistency, and gentle persistence are what create lasting habits. Conclusion: good habits are small actions repeated daily. They shape our mindset, behaviors, and future. By making habits enjoyable, adjusting our environment, focusing on one habit at a time, setting clear goals, celebrating small successes, and practicing patience, we can gradually create a life that is healthier, happier, and more successful. Even small, simple actions like drinking water, reading, walking, or practicing kindness can transform our lives over time. Habits are powerful because they are not just what we do, they reflect who we are and who we want to become. Habits: how small actions shape your life. Habits are more than simple routines. They are powerful tools that shape your life, improve health, increase productivity, and enhance happiness. With mindful effort and persistence, habits transform actions that once required effort into routines that happen naturally. Set clear and specific goals. When building habits, it is important to set clear and specific goals. General statements like, "I want to be healthier," are hard to measure and track. Specific goals make it easier to follow through. For example, I will drink 8 glasses of water every day. I will walk for 20 minutes after lunch each day. Clear goals give direction, allow you to track progress, and provide motivation as you see your success step by step. Recognize triggers. Habits are often triggered by cues or situations. These triggers can make us act automatically, sometimes without thinking. For instance, feeling stressed may trigger eating sweets. Finishing a meal may trigger checking your phone. By noticing these triggers, you gain control over your habits. Once identified, you can replace unhealthy responses with positive alternatives. For example, stress might trigger deep breathing, meditation, a short walk. Replacing old habits gradually ensures lasting change while keeping your actions natural. Consistency over willpower. Many believe habit change requires strong willpower, but consistency and structure matter more. Willpower is limited. It can get tired or depleted. Habits become automatic over time, requiring less effort. Small, repeated actions are more effective than extreme short-term changes. Gradual, steady progress builds routines that last and reduces stress. Celebrate small achievements. Recognizing even minor successes creates positive reinforcement and encourages continued effort. For example, completing a habit for a week, practicing a new skill consistently, taking a moment to acknowledge progress, or giving yourself a small reward strengthens habits, builds confidence, and keeps motivation high. The ripple effect of habits. One good habit often leads to others. This ripple effect can transform multiple areas of life. Starting exercise may lead to healthier eating, better sleep, and higher energy. Practicing gratitude can improve mood, focus, and other positive behaviors. Similarly, negative habits can create chains of harmful effects. Staying up late may lead to tiredness, poor concentration, overeating, or reduced productivity. Understanding these connections helps you consciously create a chain of positive change. Habits shape identity. Habits influence how we see ourselves. Repeated actions form identity. Practicing kindness daily makes you see yourself as a kind person. Studying regularly creates the identity of a learner. This shift in self-perception strengthens habits, making them more likely to stick. Positive habits reinforce your values, goals, and lifestyle naturally over time. Conclusion. Habits are small actions repeated consistently, but their impact is immense. By setting specific goals, recognizing triggers, focusing on consistency over willpower, celebrating small achievements, understanding the ripple effect, aligning habits with your identity, you can create lasting, meaningful change. Small daily choices form the foundation of your life. With patience, persistence, and thoughtful effort, these choices grow into positive patterns that improve your health, productivity, happiness, and overall well-being. Habits, shaping your life, identity, and future. Habits are more than repeated actions. They shape who we are, how we feel, and how we live. When our actions align with our self-image, we are naturally motivated to continue behaviors that support that identity. For example, practicing kindness daily can make us see ourselves as kind, while regular learning habits can reinforce the identity of a learner. Strategies for building strong habits. 1. Habit stacking. Habit stacking is a simple yet powerful technique. It involves linking a new habit to an existing one so it becomes easier to remember and perform. For example, after brushing your teeth in the morning, read a few pages of a book. After making your morning coffee, do 5 minutes of stretching. By connecting new habits to routines you already do consistently, they become a natural part of your day. 2. Accountability. Sharing your goals with friends, family, or a supportive community creates motivation and a sense of responsibility. Knowing others are aware of your goals makes you more likely to follow through. Accountability provides encouragement during challenges through advice, reminders, or moral support. Being part of a supportive network makes habit building easier and more enjoyable. 3. Emotional awareness. Good habits not only improve health or productivity, but also enhance mood and emotions. Exercise releases endorphins, reducing stress and boosting happiness. Practicing gratitude focuses attention on positive aspects of life, promoting optimism. Negative habits, on the other hand, can increase stress, fatigue, or sadness. Recognizing the emotional impact of habits helps you make smarter, healthier choices. 4. Tracking progress. Keeping a record of your habits, whether on a calendar, in a notebook, or through an app, provides a clear visual reminder of your efforts. Seeing consistent progress motivates continuation. Tracking patterns helps identify which days are challenging and which are successful. Visual evidence of growth reinforces the habit and shows that your effort matters. 5. Patience. Habits take time to develop. Immediate results are rare. Real change occurs slowly through repeated actions over weeks, months, or years. Even small steps, practiced consistently, create long-term impact. Understanding that change is gradual helps maintain calm and commitment. Persistence, repetition, and mindful effort eventually make habits automatic and integrated into daily life. 6. Awareness. Awareness is the first step toward effective habit building. Many people act on autopilot, repeating behaviors without realizing their impact. Noticing the effect of habits on energy, mood, and productivity helps identify which habits support or hinder your life. For example, realizing excessive social media use causes stress can motivate healthier alternatives like reading, exercising, or going outdoors. Mindful awareness allows you to take control instead of acting automatically. 7. Habit planning. A habit plan is a simple, clear guide outlining what you want to achieve, why it matters, and the small steps needed daily. Breaking habits into manageable actions makes them less overwhelming. A plan helps you stay organized and adapt to challenges without giving up. Planning includes defining when and how the habit will be practiced, which increases consistency and success. The ripple effect of habits. Positive habits often lead to the development of other beneficial behaviors. Exercising regularly may encourage healthier eating, better sleep, and higher productivity. Practicing gratitude can improve mood, focus, and overall well-being. Conversely, negative habits can trigger harmful chains. Staying up late may lead to fatigue, poor focus, and reduced productivity. Understanding this ripple effect helps create meaningful, long-term change. Conclusion. Habits are the foundation of our lifestyle, influencing actions, mindset, and identity. By linking habits together, building accountability, understanding emotional impact, tracking progress, practicing patience and awareness, planning clearly, we can create routines that support growth, health, happiness, and long-term success. Small, consistent actions repeated over time transform behavior, mindset, and life. With deliberate effort, habits can guide us toward a future filled with purpose, confidence, and well-being. Practical strategies for building habits. 1. Create a habit plan. Having a clear plan makes habits easier to remember and harder to skip. Example: walk for 20 minutes every morning after breakfast. A plan provides structure, removes confusion, and helps maintain consistency. 2. Repeat habits in the same context. Consistency in time and place strengthens habits. Example: practice English vocabulary every evening at your desk, or meditate every morning in the same quiet space. Over time, the brain links the context with the habit, making it feel natural and automatic. 3. Track your progress. Tracking progress motivates and reinforces commitment. Use a journal, calendar, or habit tracking app. Seeing several days of consistent effort creates pride and encourages continuation. Tracking also reveals patterns, helping you notice successes and challenges. 4. Connect habits with rewards. Rewards create positive emotional associations with habits. Example: after a workout, take a relaxing shower, enjoy a healthy snack, or listen to favorite music. After a study session, take a short break or watch a video you enjoy. Even small rewards signal to the brain that the habit is valuable, making it easier to repeat. 5. Choose habits with multiple benefits. Single habits can improve multiple areas of life, making personal growth faster and more effective. Walking daily improves heart health, energy, stress levels, mental clarity, mood, and social connections. Reading 10 minutes a day, journaling, or stretching can enhance focus, mental health, and productivity. Selecting habits with multiple benefits maximizes the impact of your effort. 6. Be patient. Habits take time to form. Setbacks are normal. Missing a day or losing motivation doesn't mean failure. What matters is returning to the habit consistently. Small, repeated efforts lead to lasting change over time. 7. Start small. Breaking habits into manageable steps reduces overwhelm. Example: if your goal is an hour of daily exercise, start with 10 minutes and gradually increase. For reducing sugar, replace sweets gradually instead of stopping abruptly. Small steps build confidence and make habits sustainable. 8. Leverage your social environment. The people around you influence your habits. Supportive friends or groups encourage consistency and provide accountability. Joining a study group, running club, or language community helps maintain daily practice. 9. Use habit stacking. Linking a new habit to an existing one makes it easier to remember and perform. Example: after brushing your teeth, read a few pages of a book or do 5 minutes of stretching. This simple technique leverages habits you already have to create new routines reliably. Conclusion: by creating a plan, repeating habits consistently, tracking progress, rewarding yourself, starting small, choosing multi-benefit habits, leveraging support, and using habit stacking, you can build strong, lasting habits. Even small, consistent actions performed over time can transform your health, productivity, relationships, and overall well-being. Each step moves you closer to your goals, one small action at a time. Advanced strategies for stronger habits. 1. Habit stacking. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one. Since the existing habit is automatic, it acts as a natural reminder for the new action. Example: after drinking your morning coffee, stretch for a few minutes, read a page of a book, or plan your day. After brushing your teeth at night, reflect on the day or prepare for tomorrow. By connecting habits, new actions become easier to remember and more consistent. 2. Emotional impact of habits. Habits strongly influence emotions and mindset. Positive habits, like exercising, practicing gratitude, journaling, or mindfulness, improve mood, reduce stress, and increase confidence. Negative habits, such as procrastination, negative self-talk, or avoiding responsibilities, increase stress and frustration. Awareness of these emotional effects helps you choose habits that support mental and emotional well-being. 3. Build a supportive environment. Your surroundings can make habits easier or harder to maintain. Keep a water bottle on your desk to drink more water. Place workout clothes where you can see them to encourage exercise. Organize books or study materials to inspire reading or learning. A structured, calm, and organized environment reinforces habits and makes them feel natural. 4. Flexibility. Life is unpredictable and routines can be disrupted. Missing a day does not mean failure. Consistency over time is what matters. Adjust habits to fit new circumstances without giving up. This approach builds resilience and keeps your habits sustainable. 5. Identity and habits. Repeated actions shape how we see ourselves. Studying daily, see yourself as a dedicated learner. Exercising regularly, see yourself as healthy and active. Practicing kindness, see yourself as compassionate. A strong sense of identity motivates consistent behavior, reinforcing habits naturally. 6. Make habits enjoyable. Habits are easier to maintain when they are fun or rewarding. Listen to music or a podcast while exercising. Choose books that genuinely interest you. Practice English through videos, games, or conversations you enjoy. Enjoyable habits feel less like chores and more like activities you look forward to. 7. Recognize habit triggers. Triggers are situations, feelings, or places that automatically initiate behavior. Stress overeating. Sitting on the couch scrolling phone. Waking up checking social media. Identifying triggers helps you. Replace unhealthy habits with better ones. Create positive triggers for new habits. Example: finishing breakfast studying, returning home from work short walk, going to bed gratitude practice. Conclusion: by stacking habits, understanding emotional impact, creating a supportive environment, staying flexible, shaping identity, making habits enjoyable, and recognizing triggers, you can build routines that feel natural and sustainable. These strategies help you develop habits that support long-term growth, well-being, and the person you want to become.